Good evening, and welcome to Golden Valley's annual members meeting. My name is John Burns, President and CEO. Every year since 1946, Golden Valley's members have physically gathered together in one place to vote on the minutes from the last year's annual meeting, to hear reports about Golden Valley's finances and the state of affairs, and to offer their comments to the board and to management. This year, however, is different. Because of social distancing restrictions, the governor's health mandate limiting the size of public gatherings, and Golden Valley's commitment to ensuring the safety of its members and employees, this year's annual meeting is being held online. Initially, we had contemplated canceling this year's meeting or postponing it to some uncertain date in the future. Those thoughts, however, were short-lived. Golden Valley is a member-owned, not-for-profit cooperative. We are your cooperative. And for that reason, it is important that you, our member owners, hear about your cooperative. Therefore, tonight, we are taking advantage of technology. Instead of you coming to us, we are coming to you. Thank you so very much for tuning in tonight and for wanting to hear about your cooperative. The theme of this year's annual meeting is finding our way together. Over the past 2 months, all of us have had to navigate through new, challenging circumstances caused by the COVID pandemic. And we will continue to be challenged as Interior Alaska grapples with the economic uncertainty caused by COVID. Interior Alaska residents, however, have always pulled together in difficult times, whether it be the flood of 1967 or the economic downturn of the late 1980s. We have always been there for one another, and I am confident that together we will overcome the current challenges. At Golden Valley, we understand and appreciate Golden Valley's importance to the economic, environmental, and social viabilities of the communities we serve. Golden Valley employees are your neighbors. We are community-minded, dedicated to performing our jobs well, and we are focused on ensuring that Golden Valley lives up to its mission, which is to safely provide you, our member owners, with reliable electricity, quality service, and innovative energy solutions at fair and reasonable prices. Now, before I turn the mic over to Golden Valley's Chairman, Tom DeLong, I'd like to remind everyone that if you have a member comment, please email your comment to Golden Valley at the email address that will periodically appear on your screen throughout the evening. At the end of tonight's meeting, all member comments will be compiled and a random selection will be read out loud to the full membership as time permits. In addition, all member comments that are received will be summarized and included as part of the minutes from tonight's meeting. Now, here are the guidelines for member comments. Please send your comments to info@gvea.com. Include your first and last name and the physical address where you receive electricity so that we can verify your membership. We will be accepting comments until 7:15, at which time the window for comments will close. And finally, please keep your comments brief so that everyone has a chance to comment. And don't forget about door prizes. During the course of tonight's meeting, 6 lucky winners will each win a $500 gift certificate for electricity. Winners will be drawn from Golden Valley's membership roll and the names announced during the meeting. And now, to officially start the meeting, I'd like to introduce Chairman of the Board, Tom DeLong, who represents District 2. Tom?
Thank you, John, and good evening, everyone. I now call GVEA's annual meeting to order. As we begin, I would like to introduce the 6 other board members. Dave Messier, District 1. Rick Shakura, District 3. Gary Newman, District 4 and Vice Chairman of the Board. Chris Bunch, District 5. John Sloan, District 6, our Board Secretary. And Bill Nordmark, District 7 Treasurer. Also with us tonight is Golden Valley's Executive Administrative Assistant, Susan Redlin. Now I'd like to introduce Board Secretary John Sloan to give us the proof of the meeting notice and report on the quorum. Since 2007, John has represented members along the Richardson Highway from Harding Lake to Delta Junction. John?
Thank you, Tom. Good evening, everyone. At this time, I would like to report to the members concerning the notice of meeting and proof of mailing and publication as relates to this annual meeting. On April 1st, 2020, Rural Light Services mailed copies of the April 2020 issue of Rural Light magazine to all of the cooperative's members of record. The Rural Light contained the notice of annual meeting, informing members of the time, the date, and the place of the 2020 members' meeting, with the caveat that the meeting may be presented in an alternative format due to the coronavirus pandemic. As such, GVEA has complied with the noticing requirements. I would note, however, that although GVEA has complied with the noticing requirements, because of special distancing restrictions and the governor's health mandate that limits the size of public gatherings to no more than 50 people, GVEA is unable to meet the 100-member quorum required specified by our bylaws. For those reasons, and also because GVEA staff has no way to credibly or efficiently verify the membership status of those members who are attending via video streaming, the formal portion of this meeting will need to be adjourned until a later date, and so also the approval of the 2019 annual meeting minutes.
Thank you, John. Since we do not have a quorum due to the current COVID restrictions, the formal portion of the annual meeting is adjourned, as provided in Article 4, Section 5 of GVEA's bylaws. Instead of approving the minutes from last year's annual meeting, we will proceed straight to the informational presentations, prizes, and member comments. Even though we're not together physically this year, we still want to hear from our members. If you would like to make a comment tonight or have a question, please email your comments to info@gva.com. Once again, here are the guidelines. Include your first and last name and the physical address where you receive electricity so we can verify your membership. We will be accepting comments until 7:15, at which time the window for comments will close. Please keep your comments brief so everyone has a chance to comment. Now I'd like to introduce Chris Bunch, who represents District 5. Chris?
Thank you, Tom. Now I have the pleasure of announcing our first lucky prize winner of the evening. The prizes are gift certificates for electricity that can be applied to your account. The prize winners' names were randomly drawn earlier this evening from our membership. And our first winner of $500 is Brandon Gilmore of District 5. Congratulations. We'll have 5 more prize giveaways, so stay with us to see if your name's called. Every year, GVEA awards scholarships to 8 worthy local students. The money comes from unclaimed capital credits, so these awards have no impact on your electric bill. Because of the current situation, the scholarship committee has not been able to meet and read applications. The hope is to do this in the next few weeks, and 7 winners will be announced early this summer. GVEA's Career and Technical Educational Scholarship is being advertised right now and will be awarded in August. You can find more information about our scholarships on GVEA's website. Now I'd like to introduce Gary Newman, who represents District 4. Gary?
Thank you, Chris. If you live in Districts 1, 2, or 3, you'll be electing directors this year. The April Rural Light introduced you to this year's slate of candidates. You can also log on to our website at gvea.com to find out more. Candidates for District 1 are Aaron Gunderson and David Messier.
Hello, I am Aaron Gunderson, running for the director position in District 1. I live in the Gold Stream Valley with my family, and I'm a biologist at the University of Alaska Museum of the North. I was previously on the board of directors from 2011 to 2017. In that time, I helped GVEA make great strides towards the use of renewable energy and other modern technologies. We built the Eva Creek wind farm and started work on the new solar array. We deployed smart meters and created the online outage map. We made great progress in those years with new fuel contracts, numerous institutional and administrative changes. We kept rates stable while the rest of Alaska suffered dramatic increases. I feel like the pace of progress has slowed. I would I would like to continue making more progress with established conservation and efficiency systems in use around the world, like demand-side management, distributed generation, and more use of free fuel provided by the sun and wind. So I would appreciate your vote. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Golden Valley members, and thank you for participating in this year's annual meeting. My name is Dave Messier, and I'm the incumbent running for re-election for District 1. The energy challenges we face in the interior impact us all, and the decisions our utility makes can have consequences in our local economy for 20 to 30 years down the road. I have the benefit of working in the energy industry every day through my full-time job, and with a growing family, I know I'll be paying a GVEA electric bill for many years to come. Just like all of you, I want to do what I can to help make the interior a better place to live and raise a family. That's the reason I'm running for re-election. It's been an honor to serve on the board for the past 3 years, and I would appreciate your vote when ballots go out next week. And lastly, a big thanks to the hardworking GVEA staff across our cooperative who have been keeping the lights on in all of our homes and businesses during this global health pandemic. Thank you, and stay healthy.
Candidates for District 2 are Tom DeLong, Savannah Fletcher, and Heidi Tichenall.
Hello, GVEA members. This is Tom DeLong. I'm running for the seat I've held for the last 15 years, and I am the current chairman of the board. I feel very good about our cooperative and the direction it is headed. Golden Valley is an exceptionally run electric utility, and if there was ever the definition of a critical worker during a pandemic, it's the hard workers at GVEA that keep the electricity flowing to our homes and businesses. Here's a shout out to GVEA staff. Thank you. I am a hard worker and bring experienced leadership to the board. I am vested in our community and do not represent any special interest groups. I understand the critical role GVEA plays in our community. I am asking for your vote once again to continue working issues I have championed since the day I was elected to the GVEA Board of Directors. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Savannah Fletcher, and I am a proud member owner in District 2 running for the GVEA Board. I'm a 27-year-old woman, a new homeowner, and in the early stages of my career as a lawyer for tribes. As a younger female member owner, I would bring a fresh perspective to the board. I am proud of the amazing work GVEA accomplishes each day, and I hope to push it to continue to value not only the economic costs of our energy, but the social and environmental costs too. Through on-bill financing, a cooperative system for managing energy along the entire rail belt, and the implementation of smart meters, we can lower prices and lower carbon emissions. I have already learned so much from my fellow member owners, and I promise to continue collaborating with you as the District 2 Director. Please do your part and vote between May 15th and June 9th in the GVEA elections. And when you do, please vote for Savannah Fletcher.
Good evening. I'm running for Director of District 2. My name is Heidi Tichenall. I was born in Fairbanks. My husband and I raised our children in the same neighborhood since 1995. We share your concerns about the cost and reliability of electric service. I know firsthand the pain of a high electric bill when it blows my monthly budget. Frequent and prolonged outages are not just inconvenient, they're dangerous and disruptive. I want to lower the cost and stabilize the price and reliability of electricity. I will press the board and management to study promising new technologies, alternative fuels, and to keep up on brush clearing and maintenance. Many members in my district have expressed an interest in alternative energy. Let's simplify and streamline the process for those who want to invest in solar panels and microturbines on their property. Ballots go out in the mail next week. Take the time to vote. It's important for our future.
Candidates for District 3 are Allison Carter and Rick Soley.
I'm Allison Carter, and I'm honored to be your candidate from District 3. I've been a GVEA ratepayer for over 25 years and have been engaged in GVEA issues for the past 4 years through service on the MAC and regular attendance at board meetings. I'm a retired CPA with a long career in financial analysis and business management. I recently added a law degree to my community service toolbox. I believe I'm the best candidate to fill the District 3 seat because my skills are highly relevant and I'm independent of special interests. I'm excited about new opportunities coming to GVEA through the Rail Belt Reliability Council and other initiatives you're hearing about today. I support board transparency and lowering rates through new technology. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Good evening. My name is Rick Soley. Thank you for creating a way to speak to you virtually as we are working our way out of this pandemic. Growing up in Fairbanks offered me unique opportunities in both the public and private sectors and has given me an understanding of Golden Valley's importance to our community. After attending local schools, I graduated from UAF with a degree in economics and business. My experience includes real estate, healthcare administration, and for the last 20 years in resource development. I also served on the Borough Assembly, twice as presiding officer, and worked as staff in the Alaska Legislature. Many of the decisions that the Golden Valley Board make have long-term implications. Golden Valley has a solid track record. However, current high electric rates impact association members now and also limit future economic growth. For that reason, Golden Valley needs a focused business perspective and full disclosure of the cost of their decisions. It would be an honor to serve.
The April Rural Light featured each of these candidates, and for District 3, there were 2 additional candidates who have since withdrawn. If you live in Districts 1, 2, or 3, you'll receive an electronic ballot in the mail. The paper will contain a paper ballot as well as instructions for online voting. You may vote by mail or online, but not both. Ballots will be mailed on May 15th and are due June 9th. The election results will be announced on June 11th. Now it's my turn to give away our second $500 electric bill credit. And the winner is Barbara Kemp in District 1. Congratulations, Barbara. And remember to stay tuned. We'll be announcing 4 more winners as the evening progresses. As our CEO, John Burns, mentioned earlier, the theme for this year's annual meeting is Finding Our Way Together. Our GVEA employees keep raising the bar for community involvement and generosity. They set a new record in 2019, donating more than $110,000 to the United Way of Tanana Valley. GVEA also provides employees 8 hours of paid leave each year to volunteer in the community, and many of them took advantage of it this year. The board would also like to thank those of you who participate in our Good Sense program. Each month, you allow GVEA to round your bill up to the nearest dollar. Since 2011, we've been gathering all those extra cents and distributing them to meet community needs in the interior. Total donations to the Good Sense program surpassed the $1 million mark in 2019. So where does that money go? Here's Director Bill Nordmark to tell us more. Bill?
Thank you. Thank you, Gary. I represent District 7, which includes a lot of open country, from milepost 210 to milepost 330 on the Parks Highway. Folks often get into trouble when they're out hunting, backpacking, or snow machining. Backcountry rescues can be very difficult. So the Good Sense program stepped up to help Nenana Volunteer Fire Department. Here's Nenana Fire Chief Joe Furness to tell us more. Thank you.
The problem that we had was we didn't have a sled or any sort of a vehicle that could go out in the backcountry and bring a patient in without hammering them really hard on the trail.
Hey, this is Nenana Volunteer Fire Department. Can you hear me? Say something? We were in need of a vehicle that we could get trauma patients in out of the elements. So we've got tundra, we've got back trails, we've got muddy swamps. In the wintertime, everything's packed with snow. You can take a trauma patient that could survive their injuries and they would die from the elements, just getting them off the trail.
Okay, Rescue 2, Chief 1, respond for a single person ATV accident with possible
broken shoulder, medic 8, Rescue 2, Chief 1.
So we just got a 911 call for a juvenile that wrecked a four-wheeler back on the power line. We can't get to it with the ambulance, so we're gonna have to take our Polaris and our snowambulance out. The snowambulance can be used in two different ways. In the wintertime, it can be towed by a snow machine on skis, and in the summertime, there's a wheel kit that goes on it, and we can pull it with an ATV or UTV. The snowambulance was chosen because of its suspension. It has gas, hydraulic, and spring suspension, which eliminates 90% of the jarring and hard motion of a normal sled being pulled across either snow or summer terrain. Having those shocks and spring suspension definitely prevents further injury.
This is a perfect vehicle for this area because it gets somebody in out of the elements. It's enclosed, it offers heat, it offers shelter, something that could make all the difference for a trauma patient.
The funding situation for the Nana Volunteer Fire Department is very tight. I got a hold of Golden Valley to see if they were still doing the Good Sense grant. They said they were, so I filled out an application and asked for the funding to purchase this snowambulance.
Oh, I'm extremely grateful. To have the snowambulance makes a world of difference for us and for our patients too.
There would be absolutely no way we'd be able to afford this invaluable piece of equipment without Golden Valley's Good Sense program. The snowambulance would definitely save lives.
Thank you, Golden Valley members!
Everybody, again, that we are taking member comments tonight by email. The address is info@gva.com, so please send your comments in. GVA starts every meeting with a safety moment, and tonight we're talking about financial safety. Scammers are working overtime during the COVID pandemic. Scams are getting more sophisticated, coming via email, text, and telephone. Some seen as a Golden Valley employee, demanding money or threatening to cut off your power. How do you know if a call is legitimate? Well, here's a simple way to beat any scam using only a pencil. Let's take a look.
It seems like every day I get emails and phone calls from scammers trying to steal my money. Oh look, here's a good one. A Nigerian prince wants to deposit $10 million in my bank account. Never heard that one before. The bad news is, scams are getting more sophisticated. The good news is, there's an easy way to beat any scam. All you need is a pencil. Oh, who could that be? Hello?
This is Golden Valley Electric Company. According to our records, you are behind on your bills. If we do not receive payment by tonight, your power will be cut off.
This guy is good. He's even got a 907 number, so it looks like he's calling from Fairbanks. Now it's time to get the pencil involved. Sir, can you please tell me, how much do I owe? This is the only question you need to ask. Get an exact number in dollars and cents.
May I have your credit card number and we'll take care of this over the phone?
Don't give them any information. Just keep asking that same question. Sir, please tell me, how much do I owe?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I don't have that information at this time.
If they can't tell you how much you owe, hang up. It's definitely a scam.
I apologize for the delay. Your balance due is $347.18.
Once you have that figure, hang up. Bye-bye. Now, all you have to do is check your balance with Golden Valley. If the numbers don't match down to the penny, it's a scam. If you have the Golden Valley app on your phone, just click on View/Pay Bill. And what do you know? My balance due is $128, not $347.18, thus proving that the call was a scam. You can also check your balance on the GVEA website. Click the yellow My Account button to get started. And you can always call us at 452-1151. Our automated system offers payment information 24/7.
Thank you for calling Golden Valley Electric Association.
Or call Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 to speak to a real person. This is not a real person. It's a stock photo. If you get an email asking for money, the same strategy works, and you don't even need a pencil. Just compare the balance due in the email to your online balance. If they don't match, it's a scam. And by the way, never click on a link in a suspicious email. It will probably install spyware on your computer. Let's review. If someone who claims to be from GVEA asks you for money, 1. Don't give them any information or click on any links. 2. Ask them, how much do I owe? Write it down. 3. Check your balance with GVEA. If the numbers don't match, it's a scam.
Good evening. My name is Monica Grassi, and I am Golden Valley's Vice President of Member Services. Tonight, I will be providing you with an update on Golden Valley's efforts in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Golden Valley's senior management and key staff continue to meet daily to discuss national and state developments and respond to emerging issues. Golden Valley's actions are consistent with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommendations and the mandates issued by the Alaska Department of Health and Social Services. On March 18th, Golden Valley closed its lobbies in the Fairbanks, Delta, and Inanna communities. We have also restricted non-essential travel, and many of our employees are working from home. Staggered start times for our field crews have been implemented, and we continue to hold meetings utilizing platforms such as GoToMeeting and Zoom to ensure proper social distancing. To date, none of our employees have tested positive for the COVID-19 virus, and we aim to keep it that way. COVID-19 has had a huge impact not only on public health, but also on jobs and the economy. We recognize that a lot of our members are struggling financially, and Golden Valley is committed to helping our members through these challenging times. In mid-March, on a voluntary basis, Golden Valley temporarily suspended disconnection of residential electric service for non-payment and the assessment of late payment fees. Subsequently, the Alaska State Legislature passed Senate Bill 241, a measure that includes prohibiting utilities from shutting off service for residential members experiencing financial hardship related to the COVID-19 emergency. To qualify for the protections under SB 241, a residential member must provide a signed sworn copy of the COVID-19 moratorium certification, which is a sworn document attesting to your hardship, and provide a signed COVID-19 deferred payment agreement to Golden Valley. Both of these forms can be found on Golden Valley's website. If you are unable to access the forms via our website, please contact our Member Services Department at 452-1151, Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and we'll make sure you receive copies. Copies of these forms are also available for pickup in the entryway of our Fairbanks lobby. Please understand that although there is a temporary suspension of disconnects, it does not relieve a residential member from their obligation to pay their bills. Therefore, it is important that you continue to make payments as able to minimize the impacts once this crisis is over. Some of you may ask, how can I do business with Golden Valley if the lobbies are closed? Well, the best way to do business with Golden Valley is from the comfort of your own home. Take a look.
Hello? Oh, shoot! I forgot to pay the electric bill. Oh, I've got to get to Golden Valley before they close at 5. No, you don't. I'm going to have to call you back. Are you? Your future self. You're in 2005. I'm from the 2020s. So, why are you here? I've come to make your life easier. See, in my time, you can do almost all of your business with Golden Valley 24 hours a day without making a trip to the member service lobby. Shut up! Nobody says that anymore. I can't remember. Does that laptop have Wi-Fi? I have Ethernet. Go to GVEA.com and click on the yellow My Account button. Log in with your email address and password. Once you've signed in, you can pay your bill, and this graph shows you how much power you've used in a given month, week, or day. You can even zoom in and see your usage in 15-minute increments. The GVEA website even has an outage map that can show you if the power is off in a given area. That is so cool. Sorry, do we still say cool? You can even carry GVEA with you. What is that? It's called a smart device. It's a pocket-sized computer. Oh, the kids are going to beg you for one. Don't give in. So, where's the keyboard? You work it with your fingertips. Touch the little Golden Valley icon. And you can view bills, past and present, pay your bill with a few taps, view your usage history in kilowatt hours or dollars. You can even send a secure message to GVEA member service. So, how much did this cost? The phone? It was expensive, but the app is free. It's a phone too? Yes, and speaking of phones, you can still call Golden Valley even after hours.
Thank you for calling Golden Valley Electric Association.
Member service representatives will take your call Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Or you can use their automated phone system that's available 24/7. You can check your balance, pay your bill, update your phone contact, and report an outage. You need your account number to use the automated phone system. What if I'm going to pay by cash or check? Golden Valley has 2 bill pay kiosks in the entryway of the Fairbanks office and just outside the door of the Delta Junction office. The kiosks accept cash, check, and card payments, and you do need to have your account number with you. There are also drop boxes at the Fairbanks, Nenana, and Delta offices that accept checks 24/7. Well, I hope our little talk has been helpful. Can you tell me anything else about the future? Have you ever heard of someone from Wasilla called Sarah Palin?
Valley, our goal is to deliver safe, reliable energy to our members at fair and reasonable rates. To that end, Golden Valley is constantly working to ensure that we dispatch the lowest cost generation available at every minute of every day. That includes purchasing power from the Anchorage utilities and bringing it up the intertie. During the first 3 quarters of 2019, we were pretty successful. The cost of power decreased from 10.13 cents per kilowatt to 9.17 cents. Unfortunately, in the fall of 2019, GVEA encountered a perfect storm of unexpected obstacles that drove power costs up significantly, going from 9.17 cents per kilowatt in September to 10.99 cents in December. The perfect storm included a wildfire on the Kenai Peninsula in August that resulted in a prolonged shutdown of the transmission line that connects the Bradley Hydro Project to the railbelt system. For almost 5 months, Golden Valley lost access to one of its lowest cost power sources. The problem was further compounded by the fact that not only did Golden Valley lose access to its Bradley Hydro, but so did the other railbelt utilities from whom Golden Valley regularly purchases economy energy. So with no power coming up the Alaska intertie and with lower than anticipated production from our Healy 2 plant, Golden Valley was forced to run almost all of our local oil-fired power plants flat out in order to meet the power needs of our members and the communities we serve. And that was during a period when oil prices were significantly higher than they are today. We have turned the tide, however, and although there are no guarantees, we are confident that in this next quarter, beginning June 1 of 2020, our members will see a sizable reduction in the cost of power. Healy 2 production is significantly improved, Bradley hydropower has been steady, and oil prices are, as we all know, unbelievably low. Now, the energy challenges of the past year and the frustration that many independent power producers have historically expressed as they tried to integrate renewable projects onto the railbelt system underscores the need for greater cooperation and coordination. Golden Valley has been a long-time champion of those efforts, and I'm very proud of the fact that in December 2019, Golden Valley joined with all six utilities on the railbelt in signing a memorandum of understanding calling for the creation of a Railbelt Reliability Council. And most recently, the legislature passed Senate Bill 123, which will assist and encourage those efforts. The Railbelt Reliability Council, once formed, will be an organization consisting not just of the 6 railbelt utilities, but also of independent power producers, a consumer advocacy representative, as well as non-affiliated entities. The focus of the Railbelt Reliability Council will be on developing and enforcing reliability and cybersecurity standards across the entire railbelt, developing and adopting an integrated resource plan for the entire railbelt, and establishing standardized interconnection protocols that could encourage independent power producers to add more renewables onto the railbelt system. For my part, I am excited by the possibilities that the Railbelt Reliability Council holds for the railbelt system as a whole. And I assure you that Golden Valley will be an active participant on that council as we continue always to look for ways to improve our performance and to lower energy costs. Now I'm going to turn it over to John Sloan with our third prize drawing for the evening. John?
Thank you, John. The prize winner for the third $500 electric bill credit is Priscilla Delgado from District 1. Congratulations, Priscilla. I'm sorry. Don't go away. We still have 3 more $500 prizes to give away. One of the ways we're finding our way together is through our commitment to the environment. Golden Valley takes its role as steward of the environment very seriously. No other utility in the rail belt dispatches a higher percentage of renewable power than GVEA. Projects like Bradley Lake Hydro, Eaver Creek Wind, GVEA's solar farm, and partnerships with independent power producers such as the Delta Wind have made GVEA the rail belt's green power leader. Our brand new 500 kilowatt solar demonstration project off of Van Horn Road just completed its first complete calendar year of operation. As one would expect, the best months for solar energy were June, July, and August. The project pretty much goes to sleep from November through February. There's just not enough solar energy available during our snowy, dark winters. Some of our members asked why we don't clear the snow off the panels in the winter, so we tried that. We barely got any power, and then it snowed again. In the final analysis, the cost of keeping the panels snow-free far outweighed the energy produced. But in the meantime, small-scale solar and wind projects built by our members are experiencing huge growth. They're part of GVEA's Renewable Energy Program, SNAP. During 2019, GVEA welcomed 67 new SNAP producers onto our system. SNAP pairs up members who want to produce green power with members who want to buy it. 3 years ago, we had 165 SNAP power producers. At the end of 2019, we had almost 300. To encourage even more growth, the Board of Directors recently approved an increase in the amount of energy GVEA can accept from SNAP producers. In fact, we doubled it. We also expect a number of members to jump on the solar investment tax credit before the end of 2020. There are two ways to participate in SNAP. You can produce power, or you can purchase it from others who do. Purchasers make voluntary contributions on their monthly bills, and 100% of the money goes to the SNAP producers themselves. GVEA doesn't take a dime. So if you care about the environment, become a SNAP contributor. Call the office Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, to sign up for SNAP. Energy storage is another way we can lessen our impact on the environment. In 2003, GVEA commissioned one of the biggest battery projects in the world. It's called the BESS. In the past 17 years, battery technology has improved rapidly, and we currently have a request for proposals out to expand the BESS. We'll keep you updated on our blog and Facebook page. In January 2019, GVEA Board of Directors adopted a new carbon reduction goal. Golden Valley is committed to reducing the co-op's total carbon output by 26% by the year 2030, as compared to our 2012 emissions levels. To meet this aggressive target, Golden Valley has contracted with the Alaska Center for Energy and Power based at UAF. They'll be offering a status update and community input at a webinar on Thursday, May 21st at 6:30 p.m. We'll post a link to the webinar on our events section of the GVEA Facebook page. Air quality is still a big issue in Fairbanks and North Pole. We've asked our environmental officer, Naomi Knight, to give us an update on the PM 2.5 situation in the borough. Naomi.
Thank you, John. GVEA takes air quality seriously. We strongly support clean air initiatives that are effective, scientific, and a benefit to the community. Our borough continues to struggle with PM 2.5 pollution in the winter. We know what causes it. An independent study over 7 winters found that 66% of the ground level PM 2.5 comes from wood stoves. Another 17% comes from vehicle emissions. And the final 17% is a combination of power plant and home heating oil emissions. In North Pole, up to 80% of the PM 2.5 is coming from wood stoves. So if we're going to solve the PM 2.5 problem, we've really got to address the wood stoves. To that end, GVEA recently purchased 70 electrostatic precipitators, also known as chimney smoke scrubbers, to be installed near the DEC's air quality monitor on Hertz Road in North Pole. This particular monitor is famous for picking up some of the highest concentrations of winter PM 2.5 in the nation. You may ask, why is my electric co-op buying chimney scrubbers for wood stoves? 3 reasons. First, the money we are using, like scholarships, comes from unclaimed capital credits, so this project has no impact on your electric bill. Second, PM 2.5 is a community-wide problem, and as a community leader, we felt a responsibility to step up and do whatever we can to help. And finally, if we don't solve the PM 2.5 problem locally, the government is going to try to solve it for us, imposing costly regulatory requirements that would raise your electric bills but do little to fix the problem. Remember, vehicles are one of the second biggest contributors to the winter air pollution, but imagine the streets of Fairbanks filled with Teslas, Bolts, and Leaves. Electric vehicles, EVs, have 0 tailpipe emissions, which means less ice fog and PM 2.5. In 2019, GVEA joined a statewide technical work group focused on improving Alaska's electric vehicle readiness. The group is working to roll back burdensome regulations and to secure government grants to build charging stations in major rail belt cities and along the Parks Highway. More EVs would not only benefit air quality, they would also stabilize electric rates by spreading GVEA's fixed costs over more kilowatt hours. We'll keep you updated as we continue to work on this and other exciting projects. John.
Thanks, Naomi. I've got the name of the 4th prize winner this evening, and that individual is Blake Burley from District 2. Congratulations, Blake. The snow is mostly gone, and our right-of-way re-clearing crews are out in full force, removing the vegetation that can come into contact with power lines and cause outages. And we could use your help. As a homeowner, there are a number of things that you can do to help us to keep the power flowing. Let's take a look at this video.
The screen you're watching right now is powered by electricity. That electricity traveled over miles of wires from our power plants, through a substation, over transmission and distribution lines, to your power pole. Golden Valley maintains all these lines, but it's a big job, and we could use your help to keep the power flowing. The number one cause of power outages in interior Alaska is trees coming into contact with power lines. Trees can cause short circuits, injuries, and even fires. That's why Golden Valley sends clearing crews into the field every summer, removing vegetation that can grow up into the power lines. They also remove danger trees that are likely to fall into the lines during a storm. Here's how you can help our clearing crews. You'll get a letter or a door hanger before our clearing crews come through your neighborhood. Inspect the rights of way on your property before our crews arrive. Unlock any gates and remove all objects or debris in the right of way. Vehicles, building materials, fences, and sheds can make it impossible for our crews to do their job. Never approach our clearing crews while they're working. And beware of flying debris. Keep a safe distance. And if you ever see a tree leaning dangerously towards a power line, call Golden Valley to report it. We call these danger trees, and we appreciate your help identifying them for removal. Golden Valley does all the maintenance work from our power plants to your power pole, but you're responsible for the last few feet, the bundle of wires that connects our power pole to your home or business. We call these wires your service drop. Most service drops are hung overhead, straight from the power pole to your residence. Others are attached to a meter pole in your yard. And some neighborhoods have buried service drops that extend from these metal cabinets. Here are some tips to keep you and your service drop happy and healthy. Before you dig, call 811 to get your underground utilities marked free of charge. Even if you're just planting a tree or digging a post hole, you should locate first. If you damage underground wires, you can be billed for costly repairs. Or worse, you could be electrocuted. And don't plant anything within an 8-foot radius of an electrical service cabinet. Our line crews need access to these cabinets to make repairs. If you have an overhead service drop, you should maintain a clear path beneath it, a minimum of 8 feet wide. Don't allow tall trees to grow under your service drop. But if you must plant under your service drop, choose bushes and shrubs that top out at 6 feet tall. Once you've decided to clear that path under your service drop, the smart thing to do is call a professional tree service. These guys know what they're doing, and if they make a mistake, they pay for the damages. But you and I are Alaskans. We love to fire up the old chainsaw and take care of things ourselves. It seems like every day one of our members cuts down a tree and it falls into their service drop, or worse, onto a distribution line. If you see a tree in a power line, no matter how it got there, don't touch it. The tree may be energized, even if you don't see sparks. Anyone who touches the tree could be injured or killed instantly, so keep at least 10 feet away. Once everyone is at a safe distance, call Golden Valley and follow the voice prompts to report a tree in the line. Keep watch until a crew arrives. Let me say this again. The smart way to remove trees near power lines is to pay a professional. Members who drop trees into lines can be billed for damages, and it can be quite expensive. Now, if you're still determined to clear those trees yourself, there is a safer way to do it. Call Golden Valley and request a disconnect, reconnect. We'll drop your service drop free of charge while you cut down your trees. When you're done, we'll hook you back up again. Golden Valley keeps your lights on more than 99.9% of the time. And with your help, we aim to push that number even higher.
Good evening. My name is Rick Shikora, and I have represented District 3 since 1986. As I have done many times over the past 3 decades, I have been tasked to present tonight's financial report. But before I begin, here's the name of our 5th prize winner of the evening, Nina Dezette of District 3. Congratulations, and please stay tuned. We have one more prize to give away. Now on to the financial report. We normally hand out GVEA's meeting program and annual report for you as you enter Herring Auditorium. You will find it posted tonight. You will find it posted on your GVEA's annual meeting webpage. For those of you who want to look at it, rather than listen to me drone on, please click on the annual meeting program and report for 2020 in the upper right corner. Let me start by saying that your co-op is in a very good, strong financial position. GVEA's financial performance for 2019 was very good. We had total operating margins of just under $4.4 million. We had non-operating margins of almost $6.8 million, bringing our total margins to just over $11.2 million for the year. Our expenses were down $6.5 million. Our cost of power, both generated and purchased, was lower by $9.2 million. This was partially offset by an increase of $1.2 million in operation and maintenance costs for distribution and transmission, mostly related to our increased reclearing efforts. Further, our depreciation costs were up a bit under $1.6 million, mostly due to depreciation on Healy Unit 2. A provision in the 2018 Farm Bill allowed GVEA to prepay $39.8 million of rural utility services and federal financing bank debt. This will save our members almost $2 million per year in interest and lower our revenue requirements by almost $3 million per year. Regretfully, it will also lower our interest earnings as we had this money saved in our cushion of credit where we were earning 5% on the money. We have increased our equity to over 29% as we continue getting closer to our target of 30% equity. Equity is the percentage of our total assets that we have invested in them, while the rest comes by borrowing. The more equity, the stronger we are. Although we are in good financial condition to take on the financial challenges of COVID-19, the board recently approved measures recommended by management that will help ensure that we are able to handle these challenges. One of the cooperative advantages of being a GVEA member is that your co-op returns capital credits to its members. Investor-owned utilities maximize profits gained from customers to enhance value and to pay dividends to their stockholders. At GVEA, there is no stock to be purchased or sold. Our members are the owners of the business, our business. Assigned capital credits are the amounts allocated to each member who purchased electricity from GVEA during a given year. While the credits are assigned to members, they are retained by the co-op for a period of time, usually about 25 years. As you might imagine, it takes significant capital investment in power plants and facilities to provide you with safe, reliable power. In part, those funds come from capital credits assigned to members and loaned to GVEA. We repay those loans in the form of capital credits, either by check or deducted from your bill. The retirement of capital credits is not automatic, though. The GVEA Board of Directors must specifically authorize each retirement after considering the financial impact to the co-op. In late 2019, GVEA's board authorized the repayment of $3.5 million in capital credits from 1994. Over the past 3 years, we have refunded more than $20 million in capital credits to members. John?
Thanks, Rick, for that financial update. what many of you may not know is that the financial report that Rick just gave is unfortunately going to be his last Golden Valley financial report. After 34 and a half years on Golden Valley's board of directors, Rick chose not to run for re-election. He will be missed. Before I drag Rick back up here for a standing ovation, I'd like to share a little bit of history. When an unexpected vacancy opened on the Golden Valley board in January 1986, Rick was appointed to represent the folks in District 3. Apparently they liked him, re-electing him to 11 consecutive terms. Rick holds the record for the longest tenure on the Golden Valley board, with 34 and a half years of service, 16 as chairman and 10 as board treasurer, which of course makes sense since he's a certified public accountant and a partner at the accounting firm of Warwick and Chikora. In addition to Rick's longtime service to Golden Valley, he has an extensive list of awards and accomplishments for his service to our community. To name just a few, he's a former board member of the Alaska Outdoor Council, a past chair of the Greater Fairbanks Chamber of Commerce, and he's currently on the board of directors at Denali State Bank. Rick promotes hunting, fishing, and outdoor activities, and is a private pilot with more than 6,000 hours in the left seat. Rick has lived in Alaska all his life, and with his wife, Cheryl, has raised 2 daughters, and they enjoy time with their 5 grandkids. I wish you were all here in person tonight to help give Rick a hand. But since you're not, this will all have to do. Ladies and gentlemen, please, Rick Chikora.
Well, John, thank you for those kind words and memory-refreshing pictures. A few minutes ago, I told you that GVEA is in good financial shape. When I was appointed to the board in 1986, we were 1/3 of the way through a long string of 18 years without rate increases, while growing our equity from 14 to 33.7% in 2001. That was because the previous boards and the had invested in Healy 1 and the Zender Frame 5s and North Pole Frame 7s. The Fairbanks to Anchorage intertie had just been energized, and we had 210 megawatts of generation capacity to handle our 80 megawatt peak. We had a growing population, a growing peak, and lots of excess generation. Yet we were still pushing conservation to save kilowatt hours from needing to be produced. We have always had a cost causer, cost payer eye in our rate setting processes. Our rates at the end of 1985 were 10.1 cents. Today, for an average member, including the member charge, they are 27.4 cents. Sounds like a huge change, but discounting for inflation, they are 11.4 cents in 1985 dollars, a 10% increase. Not much of a legacy to leave, but our reliability is significantly better and our asset base is 5 times as big. When I think back at some of the major projects that have been accomplished, I realize the extended amount of time it takes from idea to startup. Bradley Lake came online in 1990. The acquisition of the electric portion of Fairbanks Municipal Utility System began before 1986 and was accomplished in 1997. In 1995, Fort Knox came online as a significant member and large component of our load. In 1994, ADA awarded the contract to build HCCP, which failed its 90-day commercial energy test in 1999, and the fight began. In 1994, a $90 million grant was received to start the Northern Intertie. It was energized in 2003, along with the battery energy storage system, which would produce 27 megawatts for 24 minutes. Because our load was growing and HCCP was mothballed, we built the North Pole expansion plant in 2004. The Good Sense program started in 2011. What a great thing to do for our communities. The Eva Creek Wind Farm came online in 2012. By then, our equity had slipped to 21.86% because we were doing big projects and using financing to pay for them. While money was cheap, we acquired the Healy Clean Coal, which ended our fight with ADA, but the restart has had its hiccups. Our working with other rail belt utilities has spanned many years. We were members of the Rail Belt Joint Action Agency in 2003, GVEA, the Greater Rail Belt Electric Transmission Company, in 2008 through 2011, the Alaska Rail Belt Cooperative Transmission and Energy Company, ARCTEC, since 2012, and the Rail Belt Reliability Council recently. I believe it is better to work cooperatively with others than to have legislators involved. Since Mike Kelly announced his retirement in 1989, the board has performed its most important function, hiring the president and CEO 5 times. We hired George Kitchens from outside, then Steve Hagenson from internally. We went back outside when we hired Brian Newton, and back inside when we hired Corey Borgeson. And lastly, after an extensive search, John Burns was hired last week. I do have some concerns and recommendations. To the board, I say stay out of management. To the management of GVEA, I say toot your own horn. No one knows of the $50 million or more saved by hedging oil, the 20-year contract we had to buy natural gas at $1.35 per MCF, or the $500,000 we put into the wood stove changeout program at the borough and our conservation efforts. To the members, especially the conservative business members, I say you had better pay attention and elect some business folks to this board. To all, though we are the best paid board in the state with a time commitment of 600 to 900 hours per year, the legal responsibilities and the fiduciary duties, we are underpaid. Despite that, for May and going forward, the board cut its fees 20% in recognition of the COVID-19 issues being faced. I'm going to wrap this up by thanking some folks. Ron Berg always used to say the education received by being on the GVEA board was like getting a master's degree. I agree with him and thank GVEA for the opportunity. I want to thank some of the past CEOs who have become friends over the years. Mike Kelly, may he rest in peace, and Corey Borgeson. I learned a lot from both of them. Former board members were helpful in educating me. Dwight Nissen from Delta, may he rest in peace, was quiet with forceful words. Dan Osborne, for 30 years, he was on the board, had an environmental side to him that was needed and heeded. Ron Berg, who spent over 33 years on the board, became president of our National Rural Electric Cooperative Association and has become a good friend and mentor. I would like to thank the current board, from whom I am constantly learning, but especially Bill Nordmark, who I've served with for 25 years, and Tom DeLong for 15 years. And I would like to thank all of our 270 employees for hard work and dedication to keep our lights on in a safe and reliable and cost-effective manner. But one especially, Susan Redlin, for always being there and doing anything needed as our executive administrative assistant. Thank you. Bill Deigan, a former board member and friend from District 4, commented when he was a new board member in 1985, "This job is a lot more complex, time-consuming, and full of legal responsibilities to our members than most people out there think. No one knows that better than my family. My daughters Courtney and Katie were 8 and 6 when I was appointed to the board. I missed a lot of their growing up. Despite that, they turned into fine young ladies with families of their own. I thank them. Lastly, my wife Cheryl, come on up please, who has spent half of her life with me on this board, missing me for 413 Monday nights. Well, in a couple of weeks, we will be celebrating our 50th anniversary. I'm glad she is still putting up with you. Thank you, dear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Social distancing. And thank you all in Golden Valley.
Thank you, Rick, personally, and thank you on behalf of everyone here at Golden Valley. Now, moving on to the member comments section of our program. We've been receiving comments throughout the meeting this evening, and now we have 2 Golden Valley staffers, Julie and Corrine, who will be reading your comments. In the interest of time, we have allotted up to 30 minutes to read a random selection of your comments. If your comment is not read aloud, rest assured that all member comments will be summarized and placed in tonight's meeting minutes. So thank you. Let's get on with reading the comments.
The first comment is from member Terry Hinman. In these unusual times, I understand the difficulty for employees with families, no school or childcare yet. The employees managed to find a way to keep our lights on. Without our electricity, the hospitals couldn't function, no heat, TV, or internet. A huge thank you to all the employees and to GVEA for adapting and adjusting as necessary. Keep employees safe and members with dependable electricity. Whenever I see a crew out working, I make it a point to say thanks. You are amongst our heroes.
And this is from Martha Reynolds. I want to thank GVEA for becoming part of the Rail Belt Reliability Council. Since we don't have hydropower in the interior, this allows us better access to the lower carbon footprint power available from South Central. A big part of reducing our local greenhouse gas emissions will come from generating and using cleaner electricity and moving our fossil fuel consumption for heating and transportation to electric. Please continue your work in this direction. Sincerely.
The next comment is from Lori and Bernard Sliney. GVEA is supposedly a member-owned association operated for the benefits of the electrical consumer, and yet, not for the first time, you waited until the middle of winter when the rates are the highest to increase our bills to cover some initiative your board voted on. Unlike people who just got to Fairbanks in the last few years, I was there at the meetings where your board ignored public comment asking why the Healy Wind Farm was necessary when there was an existent Delta Wind Farm you could have bought power from. So now you've decided to charge us for building a wind farm most of us didn't want, and in a matter of 1 month, my bill doubled. I've heard from plenty of other Fairbanksans that theirs did as well. Ignoring the fact that there was a cheaper alternative, why couldn't this have been done in the summer when most of us have more money to spare? I think many of my fellow GVEA customers would like an answer to this question.
And this is from Mike Music. Please institute on-bill financing to support energy efficiency upgrades and renewable energy projects. These can be financed through the USDA, RESP, and REAP programs at 0% interest. And congratulations to John Burns. I think the board made a wise decision.
Next comment is from Eric Mueling. A few years ago, I served on the GVEA Member Advisory Committee. Now, Allison Carter serves on the MAC, and she's running for the GVEA Board of Directors in District 3. I deeply appreciate Allison's dedication to GVEA and to our community. Allison is committed to lower electric rates and board transparency. I highly recommend voting for Allison for GVEA Board of Directors.
This comment is from Sue Sheriff, and I have been a GVEA member on and off since the late 70s. I currently reside at 19 Camel Lane, Fairbanks. I would like to see GVEA continue to expand its solar and alternative energy capabilities in a responsible manner and take a serious and careful look at becoming one of the electric co-ops that provides broadband service for its members who live in some of the broadband deserts in the Fairbanks area.
This message is from Karina Olin Duncan. Are the members getting a break on their electric bill during this COVID-19?
Julie Fry, thank you for hosting the meeting online this year. It makes it much more accessible with busy schedules.
Jean McDermott, it's getting harder and harder to make ends meet. Will you be making any accommodations for those whose income is affected by COVID-19?
Heather Merzak, hello, thank you GVEA for your dependable service. I am very proud of GVEA for adopting the carbon reduction goal of 26% by 2030. While different actions are being taken across the country, I am proud of GVEA for continuing to be future thinking and committed to reducing carbon emissions. One area I would like to see GVEA move forward on is the on-bill financing. I think this is a progressive program that allows members to make choices to improve energy efficiency in their homes, which will reduce their bills. It is a program that helps people move towards long-term change. Thank you.
Nora Simmons, thanks for going video.
Christopher Dean, will electric rates be going down since fuel costs have significantly been reduced?
Brenda, and I will try to pronounce this last name, Nachtenborgen. Excuse me for that. I am new to GVEA as of 1 year and really appreciate your service and teamwork. I also enjoy your newsletter. Please continue with your efforts. Thank you again.
Rich Seifert, does GVEA anticipate any special plans or concerns which may be needed to confront the economic impacts of the COVID-19 epidemic?
Tracy Culprit, just curious if you have a rubric for the scholarships. If you do, the applications can be scored separately and the scores can be forwarded to the chair. That is how different statewide organizations do it.
Thomas Perigi, is it possible to have people log in to view webinars using their GVEA member number to demonstrate a time-specific quorum?
Barbara Beatus, do you see the cost of electricity decreasing in the coming months? I hope that with the price of oil so low, we might see that reflected on our bill.
Steve Adams, my comment is this. I have for many years been served by GVEA and will continue until I depart this earth. I appreciate the efforts and dedication of GVEA and all its employees to keep the lights on.
Landon Olin Duncan, are the members getting a break on their electric bills during the COVID-19?
Sherry Schleider, can there be a lottery system for when there are power outages? Twice it took a week to get my power on. I understand some priority areas like the hospital, but other residential areas do not seem to be fairly prioritized.
James Rogan, has the GVEA sign up for HB 374 allowing electrical utilities to provide its member owners with low-interest loans for all types of energy efficiency upgrades? If not, why not?
Jim Schwarber, first I want to thank GVEA for supporting the SNAP Plus program by increasing the net metering cap to 3%. Please continue to expand GVEA's support for renewable energy by enlarging the existing solar farm, modernizing battery storage, BESS, adopting more wind generation, and establishing on-bill financing program for member owners. Thank you.
Kirk Martakis, Bolt for 3 years in the I have been driving a 17 Chevy Bolt for 3 years in the Cantwell area and know of another Bolt owner and a Tesla Model 3 owner that have been driving the Fairbanks roads both for the last 2 years, all of us year-round. These are first-generation vehicles, and our first-hand driving experiences tell us that even in the dead of winter, the electric car far outperforms an internal combustion vehicle. Soon, every family in our area will be fighting over who gets to drive the EV in the yard. By far, the biggest downfall to driving an EV in our area today is the lack of any public charging network. Granted, EVs are relatively new to the masses, but most of the developed world has already adopted EVs, and electric utilities have opened the doors for private businesses to build and operate many multi-stall EV charging stations, in particular DC fast chargers. GVEA tariffs do not allow for a private company to resell GVEA electricity to anyone, and due to the three-phase demand charges set by GVEA tariffs, the private company would have to pay GVEA upwards of $5 per kilowatt hour as opposed to the 23 cents we all pay, and not be able to charge the driver. Imagine gas stations in Fairbanks not being able to charge for gas by the gallon. They can only use the gas pump to get you in the door to buy some chips. I am happy to sit down with anyone and discuss this matter to come up with a solution. I hope that the management of GVEA will address this issue and come up with a reasonable solution that makes it profitable for a charging network to be built in our area. EVs hold the key to so many of our community's problems, including air quality in the winter.
From Sharon Alden, I want to encourage GVEA to continue to press forward with the following goals or programs. Reduce carbon, be bold and exceed your current goals. Add additional renewables to the electric mix. Strengthen the cooperation with the other Railbelt electric cooperatives. Explore and move forward with fiber optic broadband. Employ new and emerging technologies to allow for local microgrids and additional alternative electric production. This will make for a more robust system. Install charging stations for electric cars, particularly on the boundaries of your service area. If I had an electric car, I'd love to be able to drive to Denali or Delta Junction. All these things could make for an exciting future for a resilient GVEA and a community that can be proud of its electric cooperative. Thank you.
Kathleen Lawson, thank you for having the online meeting. Appreciate seeing the board members taking care to avoid the spread of COVID-19. Keep the future bright with renewable power as much as possible.
From Jessica Gerard, thank you for the work you have put forward as a team to incorporate community feedback on making our grid economically and energy efficient with renewable energy projects. I'm excited to see those increase in scale as we need both local jobs and sustainable energy in Fairbanks now more than ever. Moreover, we are grateful for increasing net metering and joining the statewide Rail Belt Reliability Council for equitable energy across the rail belt. As we encourage more solar, we would love to see the Golden Heart City at the forefront of a solar expansion in Alaska, which means more solar facilities in Fairbanks. I suggest expanding both the current solar array, but also engaging with local community leaders and homeowners who are building solar PV across town. By increasing solar at scale in Fairbanks, we can engage in diversified job opportunities and work towards the goals of carbon reduction laid out by GVEA. Two other direct economic and energy measures that should be implemented this year to help Fairbanks in its COVID-19 recovery include implementing an on-bill financing program to ensure equity access to cleaner and lower energy bills, and using existing infrastructure build out of Fairbanks-wide broadband internet. COVID-19 has proven what community members have known for years. Fair access to the internet is a necessity to keep the economic, education, and health of Fairbanks moving. Thank you for all the work you do.
Diana Burgess, I appreciate the most recent filing in which GVEA is choosing to waive an increase to rates. Thank you.
From Judy Peterson, in January I received a phone call stating my electric bill would be vastly higher than the previous months. When questioned, they mentioned it could be due to my car being plugged in for days. I wish to thank the service department for the heads up and for the advice on better practices to save energy.
Jean Theriault, thank you for participating constructively to facilitate passage of Senate Bill 123 during the 2020 Alaska legislative session to help to streamline bulk transmission of electricity in the rail belt. Please explain what items GVEA members should watch for as this initiative is implemented.
From William and Wilda Anderson, with the financial hardships members are facing, what will GVEA do to assist members?
James Rogan, why is a 2020 online meeting not closed captioned?
Tristan Glawa, thank you for your efforts. I would like to thank the cooperative staff and board for the great momentum happening towards a more sustainable and efficient utility. The carbon emissions reduction planning effort has been impressive. I am also so glad to see that the rail belt unification made major steps forward in the last year. I would love to keep the momentum up, and a few key tangible pieces to achieve that would be: 1, enacting on bill financing to help families afford to pay for efficiency and renewable energy projects. 2, creating a community solar project that families that can't install their own solar on their house can buy into, and 3, installing EV charging infrastructure around town to help community move to a more sustainable transportation alternatives.
Princess Lucia. Hello. I want to begin by thanking you for your service, and I'm excited about the progress GVEA has made in recent years, especially the 26% reduction in carbon by 2030 goal. Here is what I would like to see. Implement an on-bill financing program to promote economic development, provide world-class customer service, and invest in the energy efficiency savings that will tangibly reduce member-owner bills. On-bill financing is a program that enables member owners to reduce energy use, invest in their homes, and improve home comfort, all with no upfront costs. It is a loan program paid through a customer's existing utility bill that provides funding for energy efficiency and renewable energy projects that reduce customers' bills. Expand GVEA's solar facility to once again be the largest in the state. GVEA lost its distinction when the independent Willow Solar IPP project grew to over 1 megawatt. Purchase more renewable energy from independent power producers who are interested in developing wind and solar projects throughout the interior. Create a community solar program so that renters and homeowners who don't have access to efficient solar PV can take advantage of lower costs and cleaner electricity. Bring broadband to tens of thousands of interior Alaskans who lack access to fast, affordable internet, a prerequisite for economic development, especially amid the COVID-19 pandemic.
From Diane Preston, thank you for your work on developing renewable energy, including the Eva Creek Wind Farm and the GVEA Solar Farm. Please keep working on increasing the amount of renewables for GVEA electricity generation. Also, I encourage the board to adopt on-bill financing for member owners to have a low-cost way to make their homes more energy efficient. Thank you.
Melinda Frank, way to go, all the candidates.
Jason Fales, greetings. I am in favor of annual net metering for renewable energy producers. I realize that grid management requires investment and creativity, and as a member, I am in favor of making these improvements. Smart metering and incentivizing non-peak power consumption could further help our community reduce its carbon footprint. Let's begin to tackle this challenge together. Thank you.
Nanette Steele, why is my bill so much higher when I don't use any more? The monthly fee is too high. It's almost half my bill. Monthly fee should be a percentage of the bill, not a flat rate. Those that use more should pay more. It's not fair. Sincerely.
Benjamin Loeffler, encourage GVEA to update the at-a-glance year-end data report, currently from 2018. Include annualized cost of power from each source. Interested in breakdown of cost in utility charge and how they compare to national rates. Thank you.
Patricia Rivera, it would be a good idea to make board meetings available via online viewing as we are doing tonight. It would also be a good idea to record those videos for future viewing. If every member tried to attend regular board meetings, there wouldn't be enough space for them to attend. Also, many people don't live close by or want to make the drive back into town after work, especially on below zero temperatures. So please, would you make the regular board meetings viewable live online?
This is from Sharon McLeod. Thanks for the virtual meeting. I'd like to endorse more alternative energy activity as appropriate. I'm interested in the net metering program. Do you have a recommended list of solar electrical installers? Thanks.
Philip Witt, dear GVEA, first I want to thank GVEA for a number of its positive recent actions, namely for its commitment to not cut off power amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm also grateful for GVEA's work with ASAP to reduce carbon emissions, changing the net metering limit to 3%, and signing on to the RRC. That's progress. Thank you. Second, I'd like to encourage GVEA to make greater progress on a number of fronts. GVEA should aggressively embrace beneficial electrification, both heat pumps and EV charging infrastructure. This is perhaps the greatest load creation opportunity of the 21st century. What is GVEA waiting for? I also urge GVEA to embrace on-bill financing, which is a powerful mechanism for economic development and a tangible way to reduce electricity bills for thousands of member owners. Finally, I'd like to encourage GVEA to more aggressively source energy from renewable sources. This includes expanding GVEA's solar project, sourcing more wind from the IPPs in interior Alaska, and creating a community solar program for those members who rent or whose homes are not suitable for solar PV. I'm excited to see GVEA continue to innovate and embrace the 21st century clean energy economy. GVEA continues to be a powerful engine of economic development for our community, and I encourage our co-op to look forward to a clean energy future.
And this is from Tanya Hughes. Thank you for the information regarding why the current bills are so high and the protection that they will come down in June, and the projection that they will come down in June.
Milton Roy, is it feasible for a homeowner to install a solar array at his house?
From Mike Mathers, my question is, what does the GVEA management and board members see in the near future for solar power, and what impact do they see community initiatives like Solar Ice Fairbanks having on our cooperative? GVEA was leader in designing and implementing the biggest battery bank in the world when we needed it to deal with frequent outages. Can we be a leader again? As the biggest energy cooperative in the interior, what plans or thoughts does the management and board have concerning further implementation of more solar power as part of our power portfolio? I'm asking this in light of the Solar Ice Fairbanks community initiative within our own district. While I do think this is a great community effort, I also see it as a competitive operation to our own cooperative in GVEA if battery storage becomes cost-effective. While I am informed of the importance of spinning reserves and other important elements involved in incorporating alternative energy sources, one day battery technology will arrive, allowing us to store energy cost effectively and efficiently. If we have smaller community efforts like Solar Ice Fairbanks groups, they could, in the future, leave the GVEA cooperative if they become self-sustaining and impact our needed customer baseload, finances, and support. Shouldn't we, as a member cooperative, be the leaders here by finding ways to create and manage solar power in our own power grid? It would help us manage our long-term capital costs better, lower pollutants, and help spur further innovation in solar power.
David Watts, dear GVEA, I want to first thank you for signing on to the Rail Belt Reliability Council so we can more easily purchase cleaner energy. Also, thank you for working toward the major carbon reduction by the year 2030. In order to continue working toward that carbon reduction, I believe there is more to be done. I think we, GVEA, should work to 1, start on-bill financing which will enable members to do things they otherwise couldn't do. 2, create a community-based solar energy program, helps those without direct access. 3, expand access to broadband internet to the underserved in the interior, important now more than ever. Thank you again for organizing this virtual meeting. The videos are cute.
From Kathy Walling, thank you for your continued work to meet the 26% carbon reduction goal by 2030. I continue to hope you will surpass this carbon reduction goal by 2030. One way to help us continue to move in this direction is to now create a community solar program so that renters and homeowners who don't have access so efficient solar PV can take advantage of lower cost and cleaner electricity. In addition, as I learn more about on-bill financing, I am more and more keen to have GVEA implement it for its member owners. I hope at the next annual meeting in 2021, we can be thanking you for implementing this program that will help member owners to reduce energy use, invest in their homes, and improve home comfort, all with no upfront costs. Thank you.
James Rogan, how do members get chimney scrubbers?
Frank Stallings, why could we Why could we not the email to sign in for a quorum?
Diane Marshall, why does the Co-op Connections app not work? I don't carry the card and the app hasn't worked in over a year.
Aaron Gunderson, there is a great demand for solar power in Fairbanks, but we can't all afford our own installation on our roofs. GVEA has its new solar array, Why can't I purchase solar panels and have them added to GVEA's array and receive credit for the output on my bill after a reasonable administrative fee is subtracted? There should be an open season period each year where those members wanting to purchase and add panels to the array can do so, paying GVEA a share of the total installation cost. This is one version of a community solar project, and GVEA has an array ready to be expanded by its members at no cost to members not wishing to participate. Get on it, please.
And the last comment tonight, Allison Carter. My name is Allison Carter, District 3 Board Candidate. First, I'd like to thank Rick Shakora for his long and dedicated service to GVEA. He has played a major role in keeping our cooperative financially healthy. We are so lucky to be the owners of our electric utility with the ability to elect our board of directors. I take my responsibilities as a member owner very seriously and believe that directors need to continually remind themselves about who they work for. Some members over the years have been frustrated by their service on the MAC, but I found it empowering as well as educational. On the MAC, you have direct contact with board members and staff, and the communications are two-way. I encourage my fellow MAC member owners to serve a term on the MAC.
Thank you, Julie. Corinne? Looks like we are at the end of the member comments. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to send us your comments. As we noted earlier, the comments will be summarized and added to the minutes from this evening's meeting. So at this time, I'd like to invite Chairman Tom DeLong to announce the final winner of the prize for $500 and to adjourn our meeting tonight. Tom?
Thank you, John. And the winner of our final $500 electric bill credit goes to Del May Wilson from District 2. Congratulations, Del May. Congratulations to all our winners tonight, and thank everyone for watching this online annual meeting. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.